For episode 1 of my new series on the greatest warriors in history, we have Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. In the heartland of India, a legend was born. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the rebel-turned-Hindu warrior king. Let's delve into the early life and the remarkable rise of this extraordinary figure. Shivaji's story unfolds against the backdrop of a divided and predominantly Muslim India. To the north, the dominant power was the Muslim Mughal Empire under the Sultan Aurangzeb. To the east was the Muslim Golconda Kingdom. To the west, Bijapur, where the hero of our story today was born, another Muslim state under the rule of the Sultan Adil Shah. Shivaji was born to a pious Hindu woman named Jijabai and her husband Shahaji Bhosle, a general in the Bijapur army. His father was often away fighting, so he was brought up by his mother and his mentor, who both taught him religion and the art of warfare, including horse riding, use of a bow and arrow, and use of sword weaponry. Shivaji saw that Hindus under Muslim sultanates were often discriminated against for their religion. His experiences in this tumultuous landscape would shape him into a formidable warrior and strategist. Fueled by patriotism and a desire to protect his people, Shivaji formed a band of peasants to attempt to capture the outposts of the Bijapur Sultanate. His army became known for its lightning-fast raids and ambushes, catching the enemy off guard. His ability to capture formidable forts, one after another, was remarkable. As Shivaji forged his path to power, he wielded not only brilliant strategy, but also a formidable arsenal of weaponry, each carefully chosen to suit his guerrilla warfare tactics. One of Shivaji's signature weapons was the Bhawani Talwar, a symbol of his martial prowess. It was a curved razor-sharp blade designed for close combat. One of the key turning points in his early military career was at the age of only 16, the capture of the Torna Fort, a stronghold of the Bijapur Sultanate. This victory marked the start of his empire-building journey and shaped his future military strategy, emphasizing the importance of capturing forts. The Sultan Adil Shahi of Bijapur was angered by this and sent 10,000 men under the fearsome general Afzal Khan after Shivaji's much smaller army, resulting in a legendary confrontation. This encounter would test not only Shivaji's courage but also his wit. Despite the enormous odds stacked against him, Shivaji emerged victorious. He pretended to flee with his army into a hill fort, Pratapgarh. He later sought a meeting with Afzal Khan under the premise of appealing for clemency. They meet under a beautiful ceremonial tent known as a shamiana. The treacherous Afzal reaches forward to Shivaji and attempts to crush him using his brute strength, but Shivaji pulls out his concealed weapon, his tiger claws or bagnak, a weapon often used by assassins, a sort of knuckle duster worn inside the palm with pointed claws, which he uses to tear into Afzal Khan, killing him. His army then defeats the remains of Khan's army using his guerrilla tactics. The beginnings of a rebel building his empire, the Maratha Empire. The Mughal Sultan, Aurangzeb, heard of this upset by a non-Muslim and was enraged. In 1659, he sent his viceroy of the south, Shaista Khan, down to deal with Shivaji, along with his huge army. Shivaji once again used his courage and wit to become the victor. Under the cover of night, he raided the viceroy's camp and forced the viceroy to run out of the window, losing 3 of his fingers to Shivaji's sword along the way. The viceroy then retreated and withdrew. In the euphoria of this victory, Shivaji decided to ransack the wealthy Mughal coastal town of Surat and took many of its riches. Of course, this defeat didn't sit well with the Mughal emperor, Aurangzeb. So angered was he that he sent his most infamous veteran general, Mirza Raja Jai Singh, along with many men to subdue Shivaji. Mirza Raja Jai Singh was an intelligent man, schooled in politics and experienced in warfare. Their conflict culminated in the Battle of Purandar in 1665. Purandar was a key fort in Shivaji's young Maratha Empire, and Jai Singh managed to seize this fort, attacking the walls with cannons. This 3-month battle was hard fought by Shivaji and his Marathas, but Shivaji was vastly outnumbered and eventually had to surrender to avoid any more casualties. After his defeat, Shivaji was forced to sign the Treaty of Purandar. This meant Shivaji had to pay large sums of compensation money to the Mughal Empire, give away many of his forts, and required him to meet the leader of the Mughals, Aurangzeb, in Agra to further discuss the situation. Many suggest to Aurangzeb that Shivaji should be killed for his movements against the Mughal Empire and to stop his upstart Maratha Empire. Instead of killing Shivaji, Aurangzeb sentences him to house arrest in Agra. During this sentence, Shivaji hatches a genius escape plan. He hides in a bamboo basket for carrying goods and is carried straight out of Agra, knowing he would be killed if he was caught. When he returns to his domain, he gets straight back to work, winning back his losses and even making more gains in territory in just 2 years. He plundered many of the Mughal regions and became a great leader, instituting reforms, being respectful to women, and being tolerant of other religions, in spite of the fact that he was persecuted for being Hindu. In fact, many of his best generals were Muslims. In 1674, in a grand ceremony that would shape the course of history, he was crowned as Chhatrapati, a title that carries great significance and usually refers to a king that protects his people. It was a ceremony that proudly showcased Shivaji's Hindu origins. Shivaji's legacy extended beyond his lifetime. He laid the foundation for the Maratha Empire, which would go on to become a dominant force in India for around a century.